Sveiki, skatītāji! Ceļojot, man parasti patīk valstī, kurā es atrodos, meklēt un atrast kaut ko būtisku, kaut ko interesantu, specifisku, kas ir raksturīgs tieši tai valstī attiecībā uz nekustamo īpašumu. Un atrodoties Dānijā, es ceļojot ilgi domāju un meklēju, kas būtu tas, kas izceļ Dāniju tieši attiecībā uz nekustamo īpašumu. Un, manuprāt, tādas ir trīs lietas. Pirmā, tā ir labi, varētu pat teikt, lieliski attīstīta transporta infrastruktūra. Un par to es ļoti ceru, ka kādā no nākošajiem video manā auditorijā viesosies mans ceļojuma biedrs šajā gadījumā Nikita Gorbatko. Tā ir viena tēma. Otra, par ko noteikti būtu vērts domāt un ko vairāk uzzināt un pētīt, tā ir Dāņu dizains un arhitektūra. Trešā, manuprāt, tēma attiecībā uz nekustamo īpašumu Dānijā ir enerģētika. Ļoti, ļoti attīstīta enerģētika kopumā, un šajā video jūs uzzināsiet kādu vienu nelielu kopumā no enerģētikas daļu, kas patiesībā nav nemaz tik neliela. Tā ir vēja enerģija, kas ir ļoti, ļoti attīstīta Dānijā, un to mums izstāstīs Dānijā dzīvojošs vācietis ar Latvijas ID karti Daniels Leuchtmans.
Thank you, Jānis. You know, in 2023, 63% of the electricity which was produced in Denmark was produced by renewable energies. And that is a record, definitely, and that is a very high number. But this doesn't come without any effort. So it has appeared because the history is very interesting of that. The history started already in the very early 70s, 1970s, and was really pushed by a number of blacksmiths who said, we need renewable energy. And the basic of a wind turbine is that you have a motor which is put the other way around. Normally you put electricity to a motor and then it runs and turns around. And you can just do the opposite thing. You can turn it around and then it will generate energy. So the principle of a generator is well known, has been well known for a long time. And we have propellers from airplanes and so on. And those are also well known. So these two main components are really the basics of a wind turbine. And in the 70s, or maybe also in the late 60s already, these blacksmiths, they came and had this idea that they want to make wind turbines. And then in the 1972, we had this large oil crisis all over the world, and that was really a very, very important factor of pushing wind power into existence. Also here in Denmark we had a little community which was a self-supplying community, and they said, we want to build the largest wind turbine in the world. And they were 400 people, and they really succeeded in building this turbine and in showing the world that this is actually possible. So there were a lot of entrepreneurship and there were a lot of ingenuity, but there were also a lot of coincidences that played together that brought this industry into reality here in Denmark. We are very happy for that, and since then this has developed more and more and more. And in the links that you can see in the screen here, we will also provide some information about the history of this. This has become more and more important, and the more energy, fluctuating energy, because wind is not controllable, it is depending on wind, how the wind blows, the more fluctuating energy you put into the grid, the more you need to control it. So this has then also given birth to a complete new industry which was controlling the output of the wind turbines. So here in West Jutland, where we are right now, which is the west coast of Denmark, this is really the birthplace of wind. And as you have seen on our trip here, we have quite a lot of wind turbines in different ages and in different sizes. We are now up at wind turbines of 15 megawatt, and this is compared to the first turbines there by these blacksmiths, which were probably 20 kilowatt. So it's very, very many times quadrupling. So these are the turbines that we have here, and this tendency is always going on, it's continuing. But there is one thing which I really want to bring to your attention. Wind power is not new. This is really something that has existed for many hundreds years and even 1,000 years. And also in Latvia, I have driven around and seen these old stone buildings of old mechanical turbines. So you have had wind power for many decades and many centuries, and this is now the time to revive them. So it is really my wish that you will get to that point where you harvest the wind, that's how we call it here in Denmark, which is a very clean energy type, and that you will get the benefit out of that. There are, of course, also some drawbacks, and one of them is a kind of noise. We have rules for that in Denmark, so you are not supposed to build a turbine very close to a house, but if you are at a certain distance, the noise doesn't affect anymore. And there are some other issues which I also put in the link. Here we have this organization called Knowledge About Wind, which is a neutral organization, and it's funded also partly by the government in Denmark, bringing facts. Also some negative facts, of course, there are, but mostly also the advantages, because there are so many of them. So I hope this inspires you to look a little bit further and get into wind business. Thank you so much.